What if I told you that the Blue Jays' next superstar isn't some blockbuster free agent signing or a flashy trade, but a 25-year-old prospect who's been hidden in their farm system for years? That is exactly what's happening right now with outfield prospect Alan Roden. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. In this one, we're going to be talking about why you need to start paying attention to Alan Roden, because honestly, he might be the next big thing for the Toronto Blue Jays lineup. Before we get into it, I encourage you guys to hit the like and smash the subscribe button if you enjoy Blue Jays content and discussion so you don't miss any future videos. So Alan Roden this spring has been going insane. We're going to get to all of his spring training numbers shortly, but I think that this paints a really great picture. This is all of his sabermetrics during this spring, and as we can see, like, they are quite literally through the roof. Thomas tweeting out here that Alan Roden, he's proving that he belongs in Toronto to start the season, which is a big conversation right now. He's displayed excellent batted ball metrics this spring while maintaining strong plate discipline in contact metrics. His bat is advanced and he has the tools to be productive right away. And honestly, I want that to be a little bit of the through line throughout this whole podcast, is that Alan Roden deserves to be on the starting roster for the Toronto Blue Jays on opening day. Ultimately, they're trying to go all in this year, right? That they want to make one last push, and I truly believe that Alan Roden is one of the best 26 men to have on the Toronto Blue Jays roster. And honestly, I think that by the time we're done here today, you are probably going to feel the same. Flashing over here, Alan Roden is making a good impression after meteoric rise in Toronto's system. And I love that term, meteoric rise, right? He has been on the uptick, folks. This right here really paints the picture for me. Roden, since being selected by Toronto in the third round of the 2022 MLB draft, so a relatively, high draft pick right there, third round, has done nothing but ascend the ranks of the Blue Jays' top 30 prospects at the speed of light. Recently, the 25-year-old was dubbed the team's number 5 prospect by MLB Pipeline, the highest jump for any prospect in the system year to year. So Alan Roden right now, he is truly just flying up the prospect rankings for the Toronto Blue Jays. And this is something that we've seen before, right? We've seen this before with other guys. Like, when they're ready, they show that they're ready. And one name that I really want to bring up here is Alek Manoah, right? When Alek Manoah was coming through the system, it was quick, it was fast, it was electric. He was always the best guy on the bump in whatever level he was at. And then he got to the MLB and obviously, like, performed really well for a couple of years. Is still trying to recapture that magic right now because of injuries and what have you. But still, like, clearly we can all agree that back then, Alek Manoah was 100% ready, and a lot of that had to do with the fact that, like, he just literally found it and then skyrocketed through the prospect rankings and through the minor leagues and everything like that. And that's happening right now with Alan Roden. He is dominating not only right now at spring, but also last year in the minors. If we go over to his stats in AA and AAA last season, folks, and keep in mind, he was drafted in 2022, right? So he was drafted in 2022. This is 2024. Not that much of a difference right there. In 2024, in Buffalo, in AAA, he played 71 games there. The guy had an OPS of 916 and batted .314, had an on-base percentage of .406. Like, there's just nothing. The batting average is good. The on-base is great. The slugging is, like, you know what I mean? We talk about somebody like an Aurelvis Martinez, for instance, and we always say, like, Aurelvis Martinez, incredible potential, needs to work on his batting average. Alan Roden, like, no, you have that. You have that. You have the on base, and he had the pop down there in the minors. So, like, across the board, man, this guy is just doing great. And in 3 seasons in the minors, he has an OPS of 860, a batting average of 298. So right now, Alan Roden, to me anyways, being 25 years old, having, done all of this stuff in the minor leagues, that alone, I think, is enough to go, okay, we need to give this guy a second look for the opening day roster. He needs to be with the Toronto Blue Jays because everything he's done in the system, in our farm system, has been spectacular. Pair that with what he's doing this spring. Folks, take a look at these numbers. And I understand it is only spring training, right? This is only spring training, but Alan Roden is destroying the baseball right now, everybody. We're talking about somebody that's got a .409 batting average, a .563 on base percentage, a slugging of .773, and an OPS of 1.336. Alan Roden is killing it right now. And the only other guy who's got an OPS higher, though, I mean, there's a couple down here, Robert Banks and Carter Cunningham, they barely played. The only other guy that I would, say has a higher OPS than him right now is Dalton Varsho with a, 1.468, but he's played in half the games, right? Roden is, I think, making a very strong argument for being the MVP of spring training for these Toronto Blue Jays. And frankly, the MVP on a team that might actually go on and win the, quote-unquote, golden grapefruit, if you will, right now, and win the whole goddamn thing. So Alan Roden is destroying in spring training. All of this to me, right? The fact that he is killing it in spring training, the fact that he is making a good impression. Also the fact too, by the way, if you know, the guy is incredibly intelligent, was supposed to be some astrophysicist or something like that, following behind his parents' footsteps, decided he was too good at baseball. Point being, he's got an incredible head on his shoulders, and he's making a great impression on the coaches. All of this to me should be enough to have him on the opening day roster. But then we take a look at some of the alternatives, and I think that this just further hammers the point home, everybody. Whoa, time for a quick shout out to the sponsor of this video. Hit your picks and knock it out of the park with Betway. Scan the QR code down below to join the action. Only available in Ontario. Must be 19 years of older to participate. Please play responsibly. Now, everyone, back to the content. This is what Fangraphs has right now projected for the bench, right? Because let's face it, Alan Roden probably going to start on the bench for the Toronto Blue Jays if he does make the team. I'm going to lump Joey Loperfido into all this as well because I think he's part of it. But you got Joey Loperfido there, and then on the bench, you got Tyler Heineman, who assuredly is going to be making it, right? We need a backup catcher, so he's going to be there. But then you got Davis Schneider, then you got Addison Barger, and then you got Miles Straw. And for me, I like all of those guys. I like Schneider. I think obviously last year was not a great year for him. I'm holding out hope that, he bounces back. And he's got Major League experience, so I like him there. I like Addison Barger. You guys know I like Addison Barger, and I hope that, we're going to see that ceiling from him. And Miles Straw, I mean, ultimately he's not my favorite, but the defense is there. So I like all those guys, in a vacuum. But are you going to tell me that all those three guys are better than the potential of Alan Roden? I mean, I don't know, man. Alan Roden, with what he's doing in the minor leagues, with what he's doing this spring training, with the impression that he is making right now on the Toronto Blue Jays front office, I just think that all of these things put together has me believing that he deserves to be on the opening day roster. And quite frankly, folks, with everything that we've seen out of Alan Roden right now, I know it's, it's a stretch to say that he's going to be the next big thing and everything but this is the most exciting guy I think that, I can remember for a little while right now, honestly, probably since Alek Manoah came up and, started dominating. This to me is a prospect who I truly believe is going to come to the MLB, and yeah, maybe he doesn't have a 900 OPS like he did in the minors, just immediately, but I think that he's going to make an impact because he is 100% ready right now to make it to the show. And Toronto Blue Jays front office, if you're listening right now, Alan Roden deserves to be there. But folks, let me know what you think about all this in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. And as always, go Jays, go.